Commissioner Jonathan Smith here with another episode. Coming here live today on a Friday, December, I think, 15th. I have a hockey game later tonight. Coming a little pre-game action. A little time on my hands, so I decided to give us a hockey talk. Let's dive in right in some league news right away. We have an opening again for the LA team. Unfortunately, their GM, brand new, couldn't stay with us. He did make a pretty good deal to help the team out a little bit, but we would like to get a GM for that team because I think that team has potential, and with a GM who's playing in contention, I think they can do some damage this year in the SCHL. So if you guys know anybody, I'll open it up to the league to get some friends in, family, anything. Just, that's always better because then we know, there's rivalries then, so it makes the league just a little bit more funner for everybody involved. Another topic I just wanted to let you guys know is we're a little bit behind from where we normally are in our simming schedule. We're about, I'm going to say like a week, 2 weeks off. So that's why we're simming 2 days every day in the preseason, and there'll probably be more times this season where we're going to sim 2 days in the regular season just so we catch up a little bit and we're not too far behind so we can get our drafts done in the summertime. So just to keep you guys in the heads up, check out the front page, and I make it pretty clear when I'm going to sim 2 days, but just so you know, there'll probably be a couple more than we normally have or we'd like to have because, it's easier to manage your team when there's only 1 day sim, but we got to make up the lost time for lost ground, so just pay attention for that. Another topic I'd like to bring up is on the bulletin boards. Actually, 2 topics we'll talk about today on the bulletin board. The one is about the hockey talk. John Wood, Buffalo's GM, said he likes the hockey talk, and it's a big part of why he likes the league so much, and I would agree. I think when we started this, 2 years ago now, or a year and a half ago, that I think it brought something way different than many leagues have around the world. And it is a little tough. It's a lot easier in the summertime to get them done. It's probably a little funner when there's 2 people sitting here talking. Matt or Dave, you got one or the other. But it's a little difficult for me to get in with hockey and everything. I'll obviously have more time on my hands here in a couple months when hockey's slowing down. But hey, this is a great opportunity for teams who need money to jump right in and get some money. Obviously, I'll pay you more money if you do a video because it takes a lot more time than just writing an article. So if you do a hockey talk, you're going to get paid. We'll say, I'll give you $1.5 million per hockey talk. You do. I think that's a fair number. Triple what you would get for writing an article normally, so I think that's a good thing. Another big controversy, or not controversy, but rule we just put into effect, and it did came out of nowhere to me too, is the RFA rule, where RFAs are going to get paid what they make in the NHL. Now there's some little things like if the guy's overpaid in the NHL, the GM's gonna have to pay for that. My opinion on this matter is people are going to be overpaid. People are overpaid in the school currently, and GMs are dealing with that. It's just the fact of life in hockey these days. Players are going to get overpaid, and it's just you're going to have to deal with it, and you're going to have to find a way to fit it underneath your salary structure. There's players like I have a guy on my team, Jordan Stahl, for instance, currently. He's making about $1 million, and his raise definitely won't take him up to what he'd be making when I'm going to have to pay him now is $4 million. So, everybody's going to be affected by this in the league. And I think this is really the only fair way to do it. We didn't really see this rule coming into effect, but there was a point brought up in the bulletin boards, and it made Brian and I discuss, and we thought this was the only fair way to do it. So, I think actually, salaries are going to keep going up, but there's no saying the salary cap won't keep going up, so players' salaries. And there's ways to maneuver your roster so you can fit these good young players underneath the cap and still have role pieces. People do it in the NHL, people have to do it in the school. I know it's just a little bit of out of nowhere, but it's out of nowhere to me and Brian as well. It's not like we've been discussing this. It actually just came up yesterday, and I was like, yeah, that's fair. So, that's what we decided, and we'd like to get your more information on that. That and there's 2 posts on there. One about future considerations too. We also like everybody in the league to vote on that and throw in their 2 cents because that's a close vote, and we want to know if we should keep doing future considerations because that's an important part of the league, obviously for our trades. Lastly, I'm going to just throw my 2 cents in what I think is going to happen on this year. They do it every year, and I think last year was awful. I think I picked the Buffalo to finish out of the playoffs and then win the Copas Cup. But I'm going to go with the Sabres. They're going to be my favorite again to win the Copas Cup this year. Buffalo made 2 big offseason acquisitions in getting Elfson and Hossa. So I think they just added to a championship caliber team already. So watch out for the Sabres, obviously. I think everybody in the league knows that. But they're in a tough division with Montreal still, and Toronto Maple Leafs. People forget about them with Malkin, Nash, and Kovacic. So with that, the Leafs actually have a chance, I think, too. So 3 powerhouse teams in one division. You never know what will happen. Another scary team in the East, as we always know, is Carolina. People got to keep their eyes out for them. Those are probably your 4 front runners, I would say, going into the year for the Copas Cup. Followed by like the Rangers, and then you got some fall off. The Bruins made some deals to dismantle their team going into the season, so obviously they're not going to be as good as they normally are. And Ottawa's about a middle-of-the-pack team, along with the Capitals, Devils, and Lightning now. So it's going to be an interesting year in the East. The East is still a good conference, and anybody can come out. But my 4 powerhouses, as I said, are the Sabres, Canadiens, Leafs, and Hurricanes. In the West, I think I kind of like the Blue Jackets to win the West this year. Columbus has a very powerful team. I think acquiring Nicholas Backstrom, the goaltender, I think that was the missing factor for their team last year. That ended up maybe costing them a chance to go to the Copas Cup finals and even having a chance to win it. But this year they got the goaltending back, and I think they're going to put up a strong season and go very far in the playoffs. So that'd be my pick to come out of the Western Conference to play the Sabres in the finals. But I don't think they'll have enough to beat them. Another team in the West that I really like, done a great job with the roster, is the Stars. They had a pretty good season last year, ended up winning the Western Conference. Disappointing first round upset, lost to Colorado. But I think Dallas, they'll be in the mix with Columbus. I also believe that Colorado Avalanche are going to surprise people this year. The team, it's an average team, but they got some good key players on that team, and I think they're going to win their division this year. Finally get back on top of the division. The Canucks might fall off a little bit, but I think they also have a good roster. But I'd put them behind the middle of the pack. My 2 teams in the West that I would favor for the Cup would be the Stars and Blue Jackets. And you could throw the Coyotes in there. I think in the middle of the pack, teams that have a chance would be like the Coyotes, the Kings, and Avalanche. And after that, I mean, you got teams that are all in the mix. Anybody can do it. You got the Wild, the Blackhawks. I think they have a good roster. They might finally be playoff bound this year. I know GM Fedigan's hoping so, and the team has a chance. The only team in the West obviously has 0 chance is the Edmonton Oilers. We're trying to rebuild them. God bless my soul. But anyway, so that's what I think is going to happen around the league this year. And, you know, it's going to be a fun year. We got this year is an entry draft year too, so the standings are based for the summer season entry draft. So it's an important season. So it's another edition of Hockey Talk. Hope you all enjoyed today. Get on the bulletin boards for the posts. Get your opinions out there. We got 3 big topics: the Hockey Talk, RFAs, and future considerations. So please let your opinion be heard. We want to hear from everybody. I want everybody to vote. And have a fun and enjoyable year. So until next time, this is Jonathan Smith saying good night.